coming down.
Fucking good looking dude.
I'd
How's
say.
your we're back again. Oh,
Back
for
at
those, I mean, I should have said this in the beginning, but I'm doing timestamps down at the bottom of the description,
So you could.
so you guys
Fast
can
forward
fast
through.
forward any bullshit that you don't want to fucking listen to. I thought it would help in the last one, but apparently not. I was like, cool, this might get more views because people be like, oh, I just want to watch this little
I think we
section.
found something.
Yeah, I just want to watch this
Yeah.
little chapter, but yeah, no. So if you guys want to look down in the description, there'll be timestamps, and there's be little chapters, like little hashes in the actual timeline where you can skip to either each shutter, or I'm gonna try to maybe break it down to topics if we do topics specifically. That way it'll like help be a little bit more cohesive because we jump around a lot on the podcast.
We just flow, man.
That's what we do. We come in with
Nothing and then
nothing,
just
and
flow.
we make
Blurt it
something
all
out of
out.
nothing.
Yes, correct.
It's a B6 way. What topics do we talk about now?
Oh no, we're done, bro. You don't got anything.
Oh, okay. I
Never
reset the shutters just to say, see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
We got timestamps.
That's fucking right. You went to Disneyland, huh? That's why we couldn't make the last one.
Been going to Disneyland quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
it
don't
was.
you hit me up, bro. We went the other day.
It was. The last time was. Did I do it?
Oh, sure. I got it.
The last time was spring break, so it was.
Mhm.
They were with me. Spring break was pretty hectic for me.
Yeah.
Disneyland like 3 times, and then the Great Wolf Lodge. You ever been to the Great Wolf Lodge?
I haven't. I
It's
kind of
kinda
want to
cool.
go, but it hasn't really been that time to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think now with summer it'd be cool, but
Yeah,
it's pretty
well,
cool only?
It's like indoors, so it's like you can go whenever. But so we didn't stay there. We knew somebody that was there, and they were like, "Hey, you guys want to come?" And it was spring break, and girls loved it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like my oldest one, a little timid. There's some big slides there. She was a little nervous. Had some pep talking to do, but once she did it, it was like didn't want to stop. So
well, that's cool.
it was cool.
Like, did you go on any like steep slides? Do they have very many steep slides? I know they have that one
There-
where like the ejection one where it just like drops you.
Does it?
think so.
No, I didn't see that. But
Yeah. Jake's been. Yeah.
no, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
But-
it's like you just like you're going like this little like tube, like this little chamber, and you're standing vertically, and then like the floor drops out. And you
No
just-
way.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite like
Type of ride.
type of ride, yeah, because it's just like the anticipation,
Mm-hmm.
that just like feeling you get. I love that. Like free fall at Magic. That used to be like one of my favorite rides because it's
That's
just like
funny.
that hold, and it's just like
Yeah.
that feeling you get. I don't know. It just
The little one that slides down like that.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was a free fall.
Yeah,
so
no,
it,
but
it
it's
like,
up like this, but then like
and then
it ends by like
correct. Yeah, that's all it does.
you end up like laying back.
It
Right?
holds you up, but it's like that suspense, anticipation you get at this level, and then just drops you.
Have you ever been on? Oh shit. Have you ever been on like the one where you sit down and it takes you up, and then it drops you, like everyone's facing out. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
And then or it kind of like goes and like bounces back up.
Yeah, that
Did you see the kid that died on that?
I did. I mean, I heard
You don't
about
watch-
it.
you don't watch it,
Nah, I can't watch that.
It was fucking. I watched it.
Nah,
Dude, you know what? Social media has destroyed my like
morals.
sensitivity when it comes to like shit like that. It's like it's shitty, man, because like I've been desensitized to like seeing death.
Mm.
So now I'll watch videos like that and it's like, well, But you know what? It came back to me when I had my son. When I had my son, it was really hard for me to watch video. It was even hard for me to watch fights, like watching boxing matches and shit like that, where
Really?
people get knocked out, or UFC when people get knocked out. And I'd be like, man, that's somebody's fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this weird feeling. Like I never thought I'd be that kind of a parent,
Uh-huh.
but I'm like, fuck, man, that's someone's kid that just got knocked
Oh
out.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's why that's stuff. I mean, that doesn't. It's not something I care about. I care to see.
mhm.
And
Yeah. So yeah, the kid it's fucked up because like the weight rating was like so much, and I think they asked the kid, and the kid told him, and like he still like yeah, like a lot of. But yeah, that's the one reason I don't really like those fucking rides. I don't really trust too many amusement parks. You know, it's like, and I'm not a huge fan of like drops. I don't like I'm not a fan of drops. Like loops and all that shit, I dig. I don't care about.
like Splash Mountain.
Like Goliath.
Why? Was that-
Goliath is the one where it's like the biggest drop, takes you all the way up. It's orange, and then like it's like a
I don't think I've ever been on Goliath. It's
Yeah,
been
it's like
like it sounds like pretty old though. Like
it's like
15 years.
yeah, it's like an intense drop.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that. It's been it's been
20
for a
years.
while. Yeah.
Maybe I have been. I don't know. But yeah, the big drops I kind of always like.
You
Like Viper. Like Viper was like my.
See, Viper was one that was cool because it was like it took you up, and then like you're kind of like facing down, like it kind of like
You know what I hated about Viper though? It was just like so like
yeah,
rickety.
it rattles you.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Like the newer rides, they're nice and
they're
smooth.
smooth. Yeah,
So that's dope.
it's crazy how much the technology is
Oh,
like.
nuts.
Yeah, it's wild. Even like the trackless rides at Disneyland, like was it Rise of the Empire?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
That ride is sick. Like just how it's like, there's no track.
I dig that it's like a story, which is
Mhm.
cool. But like, would I wait 2 hours for that? Hell no.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely, it's definitely something like where like, oh, you got a queue line and you're out doing the rest of your shit, and then you just go back. Yeah. It's definitely not.
I would do that, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm not paying.
I'm not a fan for just waiting for shit. Period. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
Like,
agree.
it's rough waiting for like food, like Franklin's and shit like that, where you're like standing in line, like fuck.
I like
this is really
Franklin
good.
though. That line
I've never been.
because you just drink beers and the thing. Last time I was there, I was sitting next to a teacher from Milliken, so that was kind of cool. And I was there by myself, in line
You
because
should tell the story of how it works. So how does Franklin work?
so it opens at 11 a.m. but
Right.
the line starts whenever first
Like-
person gets there. They usually get there at like I don't know about now because it's not as highly rated as it used to be, but 6 a.m. you'll be one of the first in, and then it just keeps going. So
So why isn't it as highly rated as it used to be?
barbecues is getting a little better.
People are just getting better at it now.
People are doing new things and they're just sticking to they're not like creating anything new, but they still got pull out some really good barbecue.
So when it comes to Texas barbecue, the recipe for the brisket is basically like, especially the best brisket spots, it's basically the same recipe.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's not like a whole like. You know what I think also fucked it up is that masterclass that Franklin did.
Maybe so the hard thing about brisket is it's time consuming. Like I mean, the prep to trim the brisket, let it sit. I mean, it's hard to duplicate, and it's like I mean, have you tried smoking?
No, I've never
So
done
it's like-
it. I've been around people that are doing it, so it's like I get
It's like a day process, right?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Um,
like it blows my mind that people wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to put the brisket on, so they
correct.
can kind of have it ready for maybe
At
later
night
dinner.
or whatever. Yeah. But it's like you're probably not gonna get it right the first few times you do it, and it's like a day process. So it's just like
No, and it's like $100 cut of beef
correct
that you're like
yeah,
ruining.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're blowing $100 and you're fucking
So
making ash.
it's I mean it's a tough thing to get right, and it takes a lot of time. So a lot of people aren't willing to go through that effort. I always dug Franklin because he was like, everybody's like, you're giving out your secrets and stuff. He's like, if you guys want to try it and you can make it work, by all means do it. But I'm just trying to help people out because I used to make shitty brisket and now I know how to make it good, and I want to pass that knowledge on. So I was like, that's pretty dope, you know.
And the chances of your brisket being as good as my brisket is
yeah,
probably 5-6 years down the road.
go knock yourself out,
Yeah.
man. And if you can do it better, do it.
Right.
You know. So I was a fan ever since I heard that. But no, their stuff is really good. But the line is an experience unto itself. It's just
Right.
like you're hanging out. You bring whatever you want. They have chairs there that you can use. You can bring your own. A lot of people bring their own coolers, and they just hang out and it's 6 in the morning till 11, drinking beers early in the morning, and
And then they sell out at 3.
yeah,
Yeah. So the reason for the line, I didn't understand this till I went to Texas and I figured it out, is that they make, say, 30 briskets overnight. They smoke them and everything like that, and then by the time they open up at 11 o'clock, we have 30 briskets. So however long,
we can't just throw another one on the the smoker and have it
So-
ready for you. So that's all they
say
they have their meat.
say 3 pounds of brisket, and each person in line wants 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. It's like,
And they have it worked out. So it's like they'll go through the line at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
right.
and be like, all right, what do you want? What do you think you want when you're going to order? And they can tell people at the end of the line, like, hey, we're probably going to be out of this and this and this. So this is probably all you're going to have a choice from. So
Mhm.
it's dope.
So what makes Franklin's brisket different? Like, because you broke down the story once and it was pretty fucking cool. So like the lineage of Franklin's brisket comes from where?
The Mueller, John Mueller's, because Franklin used
Barbecue.
to work with John Mueller,
John Mueller.
who's Mueller is a big barbecue name in Texas.
Yeah.
But he used to work with them.
Just north of Austin, yeah?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And he used to work with them. Mueller was going through like financial issues, so Franklin bought that smoker off of him, his
Mhm.
first smoker, and said, "I can do this," and started making it. And he became Franklin Barbecue.
Now Mueller, wasn't his smoker like the one that's in like his barbecue place, wasn't it like a brick smoker or something like that? Like it was a different type of smoker.
No.
No.
Well, so not Mueller, but Central Texas Barbecue has like the old like German style brick smokers
Uh-huh.
where they actually have like a chimney. It's like in a building, and it's a big square or big like rectangular brick smoker,
Uh-huh.
and they actually have a chimney that goes out of the building.
Yeah.
And that's how traditional Texas barbecue started.
Uh-huh.
And then they started doing these offset smokers out of old propane tanks.
Yeah.
And that's
So was it the Mueller family the ones that changed it, or was it Franklin that changed it? Was he the one that came up with the technique with the offset smoker?
no, he didn't come up with the technique, but he like
Perfected
definitely
it.
mastered it and made it a thing. Because brisket at the time, I mean, Kreitz Market did briskets. What is it? Smitty's, they did brisket the old school way with the
Brick smoker.
the brick smoker, yeah. And I mean, it was good, but it just wasn't what Franklin put out.
Uh-huh.
And then once that was like, oh dang, he's making this brisket like this, and it was super tender. I mean, Kreitz, they're pumping out a ton of brisket, and sometimes it'd be
you get a good one.
yeah, sometimes you get a good one, sometimes it'd be a little tough. Sometimes, I mean, it was still good, it tastes all right, but Franklin got it down to like being consistent every time.
So like every brisket had the same texture, consistency.
Correct. It like fell
Juice in it,
apart.
yeah.
When they cut it,
Yeah.
it would fall apart as soon as they cut it.
Mhm.
Most brisket, you cut it and it can stand up, still
Yeah.
stiff. So yeah, he really did his thing, and then now people are just expanding on that and doing it even cooler.
So like a Traeger grill, is that smoking, or is that
It's smoking.
or is it like cheating?
It's
Does this take the smoking aspect out of like the joy of
I don't think it takes
smoking?
a joy. I mean, people could make pretty decent briskets with the Traeger,
the pellet smoker?
with the pellet smoker. You can get somewhat of the flavor, but it's more of a cheat, more of like an oven, because it's like digitally, like you
Set.
put the number in and
Right.
just kind of let it sit. Um, what Franklin's doing, I mean, he's using real wood the whole time,
Right.
and it is. I think there's a different experience with that, like
From the
Traeger.
enjoyment aspect of it, or
Both.
from the actual like art of smoking.
And the taste. I think all of that. It's just it's on another level. You can get good
So
brisket with the Traeger.
so a Traeger smoker will never
I don't think so.
equate to
I don't think so. I've never taken
an offset fucking
yeah. I don't think you'd be able to really duplicate
Replicate it.
that with a pellet smoker.
Yeah.
You can get close for the the untrained, taste buds. It'll be all right.
So
You can get a good brisket in your backyard with a Traeger.
the untrained palate, is it just the taste, or is it more like the texture, taste,
I think everything.
everything? Like, is it like the rendering of
But
the fat?
like everything else, it's like with that smoker, like with the Franklin like offset stick burner as they call it, uh, it takes a while to get it really good. So
Yeah.
so like the kind of like golf. You mentioned like, do you want to be like a scratch golfer, or do you just want to have your skills now and be all right?
Yeah. If
like
I'm playing bogey golf, I'm good.
correct. Yeah, yeah. So with the smoker, it's like the same thing. It's like, do I want to just like pump out decent brisket every time, like off the bat, or do I want to learn the skill of actually making it brisket the right way? Because you're gonna have a ton of trial and error, and it might take you a lot longer to kind of master that off with the like stick burner. But I think the end result is definitely worth it.
I can see that because I mean, I've I haven't had Franklin's brisket. Gone to Terry Black's, gone to La Barbecue. Um,
The barbecue is part of that whole story as well.
Exactly, yeah, and that's why I went there, because I knew the line wasn't going to be as bad, and I was like, Roman told me that this is a spot to go.
Yeah,
That it's basically the same recipe, just
a little different.
Yeah,
They have a
they
little
might-
different
yeah,
technique,
right.
but
And it's like, but I mean, even Terry Black's, for me, Terry Black's is like probably some of the best brisket I've ever had. You know, and then like even trying your brisket, I was like, fuck, this is good, but it's almost kind of like New York pizza. There's something about going to New York and having a slice of pizza from like a like well known or prestigious kind of like pizza spot, where you're just kind of like, yeah, there's that spot.
It's that water or something.
Yeah.
There's that.
There's something like there's places here that'll quench my appetite for it. Like, oh, I'm gonna go over to. Oh, by the way, Grimaldi's closed in fucking El Segundo. Fucking bummed me out. Yeah, I'm fucking bummed. But like, I'll go to places here and I'll be like, oh, cool. This reminds me of New York style pizza. But and again, I don't know if it's the electricity of being in New York, the ambiance, what it is, and then like the hype behind it too, where you're kind of like, in your head. Same thing with like going to the Cosmopolitan, going to the hidden, the secret pizza spot. Yeah. Like, there's something about it. It's just like, I had such a good first experience where it's like every time I go, it's like, oh, we gotta go. It's like the best pizza. It's not really the best pizza. Like,
it was just an experience.
It's like similar to New York style pizza that you're gonna get to like, yeah, this is good, but it's just kind of like, I had such a good experience that first time where it's just kind of like, this is the fucking like, we gotta go every time to like get that fix.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I ate your barbecue, when I ate your brisket, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Terry Black's and stuff like that. I was like, but it's just like not quite.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the insult, but
is that an insult though?
Yeah.
You think that's an insult? You think that like you're on par almost to?
Oh no, yeah.
To Terry Black's. Or you think like Terry Black's is like? I mean,
no, I'm like still in the figuring out stage. Yeah. Like I think I'm getting it. I mean, I think it's I can.
And then a lot of it, like, I know in my head, I was like, I don't know how good that cut was.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave him a brisket.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're here at Costco. They had this brisket for $90. I don't want to fuck it up. I know Roman can smoke it. Yeah. And then I don't know if Roman was putting like his all into smoking it, or if he was just kind of like, oh, I'll smoke it for you.
This is my buddy.
Yeah,
like not mine.
Yeah, like I have like some spare wood here. I'm not gonna go buy fucking the wood that I normally would use and go through the whole routine. Like, I don't know how much you put into it, But whatever you did, I was like, this is fucking good. Like everyone enjoyed it, you know. But then I was like, I feel like this wasn't as quality of a cut. And I was like, fuck, I'd like to go to
Well,
like
you got it from Costco, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd like to go to like a fucking butcher where I know I'm getting like
No, see, I mean, that's how crazy I kind of get into it. But like, I mean, Franklin's like, man, get the fattiest one. You know, get the cheap cut for brisket. So
really.
yeah.
Is
Well,
it-
they're not so much that. I mean, the briskets he gets are
yeah.
Texas briskets.
Right.
We get the like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't know where this
I mean, have
this
you ever
beef
watched
was
a video
slaughtered.
of him like the briskets he gets? Those are some big old monsters. Like I cook whole briskets.
Like what, like a 20-pound?
Yeah, but I
Brisket.
mean, no, I think they're like 16 to 20.
Yeah, I think the
Uh,
one I gave you was like maybe 13, 12,
yeah,
13
smaller
pounds.
size.
Yeah, smaller. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a difference. There's a difference in the meat, and I'm sure Texas has a
Yeah.
better selection than we do, or at least our Costco gives us. You know.
Like my brother-in-law tried it, right? And then he goes and he weighed, and it was like a 12-pound brisket. So he sets everything to 12 pounds, but then he butchered it, or like cut some of the fat and stuff off, and
Yeah,
but he
like-
kept it at 12 pounds. So now it maybe went down to like 10 pounds,
Yeah,
but he still set it. So he charred the shit out of it.
yeah. Now
He
you're gonna
overcooked
cut
it.
down like 3
3 pounds,
three to
right? Yeah.
4,
And I was
two.
telling him, I was like, hey, so did you adjust for the shit you cut off? And he's like, no. And I was like, that's probably where you fucked up. I
Yeah.
was like, you kept it on for another 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so, but you learn all that stuff once you do it, you know. And I've gone through a bunch of shitty briskets, so. But most people like those shitty briskets I still serve it to my family, and they're like, oh no, this is pretty good, you know.
because I think the flavor, like the way you season it is the way you season it.
Correct. Yeah.
So the flavor's there. Now it's just a matter of like the little nuance of like how tender it is.
When I
how
start it,
far-
I'm gonna put it close to the fire. When the bark is set, I'm gonna move it away. I mean, you learn those things.
See, yeah, and
you
then
know.
your own smoker is
It's a learning curve into
Yeah.
itself. So it's like, man, it's like there's so many nuances.
yeah.
So
It's fucking. I don't know. Like we say it all the time. I think you and I are just those type of people that like, and I don't know if it's a man thing or whatever it is, but it's just kind of like really into the path that you take to make quality or like high quality shit.
yeah.
You know?
Well, I like to just see if it's worth it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, man, is it really worth it? And
Yeah.
I like that's something I
Or should I just buy a Traeger
Correct,
and
yeah,
fucking just
definitely.
spend the money and just knock them out, crank them out, and just like whatever. I don't gotta worry
set this,
about it.
boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
It'll be done in 8 hours or
Yeah.
whatever, you know. But I think it totally is worth it.
That was another thing is like he has like this little stand up smoker, and it's like a digital stand up smoker you got from Costco and stuff like that. And I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
definitely.
you know,
Yeah.
or like how much seasoning actually goes into the smoker? Like, do you keep the bark on the smoker for, or like all the years and time of wood being burned in that smoker and that char that seasons the smoker? Does that play a part? You know, is that part of it,
Yeah.
or is it?
I mean, the way he lit it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many things.
That's crazy.
If you use lighter fluid, if you cook fish in it, you
Mhm.
know, that all
Will
has
add-
an effect.
Yeah. Will taint the
Your
beef.
smoker.
Yeah.
That's why, like with my smoker, it's just pork and beef that goes in that thing.
No chicken, no anything like that.
I do put chicken in.
Yeah.
But fish will totally mess up your.
Because of the aroma.
Correct. Yeah.
But chicken, not so much.
Yes.
That's interesting. That's cool shit, dude. I don't know. I dig even just talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's fun. It really. I mean, like whiskey, cigars. I mean, it's just kind of that rabbit hole of just like figuring stuff out and just being like, does this meat? Is it worth it? Do I like this?
Right.
You know.
Like is it worth the $12-13 I paid for the cigar?
Uh,
You know what I mean? It's like, well, yeah, no, yeah.
what do you
definitely-
think about that cigar?
It's a good cigar. It's good.
It's no Swisher Sweet, but
Yeah, I know. It's no Black and Mild, but I mean, it'll do. But it's just funny, like you see how long it takes to smoke the cigar. You know what I mean? And you're just kind of like, it's like a 2-hour cigar,
yeah.
and you're sitting there smoking it and you're enjoying it. For me, like the short stories are the smaller ones that are kind of like, they're just enjoyable. Like if I'm just gonna sit here and shoot the shit with you for like 30 minutes or an hour,
Yeah.
smoking that is like perfect. You know, you
Yeah.
don't feel like, ah, fuck, let me get through the cigar.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, like I've been smoking it for like an hour and a half
Yeah.
already, and I just kind of like, it's a little bit more. Let's just get through it. You know, like,
Yeah.
I never like feeling that way with a cigar. I like talking and I'm like, oh shit, my cigar's done. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, you know, like
Yeah,
okay,
that's what they say. It's like, I mean, if you want to spend time and have enough time. You don't want to rush through that shit or.
That's why I think it complements golf a lot. You know, you're going to be on the course for 3 to 4 hours,
Yeah.
5 hours, if you know, depending on the round. So it's like, fuck, let's light a cigar and like let's enjoy this. You know, because like chances are I'm gonna get pissed off halfway through the round, or I'm
I'll
gonna
just
do
smoke on my cigar.
yeah,
Well,
or like I can have like a fucking perfect, I can have a perfect round going for myself as far as like my level. I'm like, fuck yeah, I haven't made any bogeys, you know, and like, you know, I got a birdie or two, and then you have that one hole that just fucks your whole game up, and you're just like, fuck, you know, the rest of it, I'm just gonna enjoy. And then you end up at the end of the round, you're like, oh, cool, I shot like 84.
Yeah.
Not bad. You know what I mean? Or 82.
Wish I shot an 84.
You'll
Still
get there.
trying to break 100.
You get there. You got to go to the range. You know what I mean? But it'd be, you know, I'm here. Hit me up. No pressure. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and sticking around. If you guys did, if you guys have any comments that you guys shit you want to hear about, go to the Instagram, cultured_the_podcast, or just comment down below. Comment section's open for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shoots.
Later, y'all.
And I'm in down.